All right, everybody, circle up.
From Wish TV.
Here we go.
Indy Style is Indy's only live local lifestyle program.
Everything they do is great.
You're part of it.
Talk about things that I want to know about.
Where life and style meet.
Oh, this is great.
Really great energy.
Really having a wonderful time.
The best. I love it.
Everything about him is great.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the big announcement you've all been waiting for.
This is the Indy Style Podcast.
All right, let's get right to it.
On the All Indiana Podcast Network.
From Wish TV's Indy Style, I'm Amber Hankins, and on this episode, our beloved Randy Ollis just celebrated his 65th birthday, and today he joins me on the Indy Style podcast, our very first episode, mind you, talking milestones, his future with Wish TV, and of course, his faith, family, and friends. This is the Indy Style podcast on the All Indiana Podcast Network.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. When it comes to what kind of romance you're into, you don't have to choose just one. Fancy a dalliance with a duke, or maybe a steamy billionaire. You could find a book boyfriend in the city and another one tearing it up on the hockey field. And if nothing on this earth satisfies, you can always find love in another realm. Discover modern rom-coms from authors like Lily Chu and Ali Hazelwood, the latest romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros, plus Regency favorites like Bridgerton and Outlander. And of course, all the really steamy stuff. Your first great love story is free when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
Yay, round of applause. And here he is, Mr. Randy Ollis. Randy, you know this is the very first Indy Style podcast. How do you feel about being my special guest?
I'm your first guest?
You are my first guest.
Boy, it only goes up from here, Amber. I'm telling you that. The bar is really low, starting low here. So.
Well, we are so happy to have you here, happy to sit down with you. I want to go back to that announcement here at Wish TV. Just a little while ago, you made, my friend, a big announcement. A lot of people thought, okay, he's turning 65, he's retiring. I'm so sad to see him go, and that was not the case.
We had a little fun with that. We really did here. I mean, we teased it every single half hour. And you know how we are in TV. We love to tease. We really do. But that turned 65. It was my birthday on that Friday here. And also it was National Weather Person's Day, too. It was a big day. And, I made the announcement that March 3rd would be my last day on Daybreak. I've been on the show ever since it started back in 1984. So I've been there 36 plus years.
Wow.
And anyway, long story short, I'm not retiring, but I'm really cutting back my workload.
Yeah.
So starting March the 4th, no more Daybreak. You will not see me on Daybreak.
No, at all.
My schedule is different, unless there's an emergency. I mean,
You're willing.
If there's no one else to show up, I will come in and help out with Daybreak. But starting on March the 4th, my schedule, I'll come in about 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then I'll do Indy Style. I'll be with you there.
I've heard of that show, Indy Style.
Yeah, there's some ladies on that show that I can't remember their names, but they do a really good job.
I think they start with an A.
Yeah, just
an A.
or so. Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking forward to being on Indy Style.
Yeah.
I'll do Indy Style with you guys, and then I'll still do weather on the midday news. But that's the only newscast.
Yeah,
1
that's
hour.
it.
Midday news from 11 to noon, and that is it.
That is it.
So I work about 3 hours a day, 3.5.
How do you feel about that, Randy?
Can't wait.
It's a pretty sweet deal, if you ask me.
Well, we negotiated it, and when it was all said and done, I thought about it, and I will miss Daybreak. After 36 years, it still hasn't sunk in. I think the next 2 weeks or so there'll be some emotional moments for me, just because 36 years of my life.
End of an era.
It really is. But mentally, I've made the turn, and I'm kind of like that. Once I make a decision, we move on.
Right.
So, the toothpaste is out of the tube. It's not going back in. So after
how many dad jokes are we going to do on Indy Style?
Oh, my. Or donut jokes. We have a lot of those here, too. So anyway, March the 4th, that's when my new schedule begins.
Yes.
And I'm ready for it. Not to have to get up in the middle of the night after 36 years.
I know.
I can't wait.
I've done that shift. I know it is tough. And speaking from my personal experience with you, Randy, working with you for almost 6 years. I am so excited to have you part of our show in whatever capacity, right? That they have you in.
Yeah, I'm here. I want to be a team player. My goal is to make you guys look even better if I can.
Woohoo!
So I will do that. I'm not going to be a main co-host. Maybe occasionally I will.
Right.
Maybe I'll do a few interviews here. I told Peggy, our boss, I said, I want to have some fun. And she said, we want to have fun.
It's what it's all about.
Yeah, it really is. So it's going to be interesting. This is out of my comfort zone. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've always been a weather geek.
Yeah.
That's me. I can do weather in my sleep.
But your personality, that's so you, Rand.
Yeah, and I hope this will allow me to have even more fun than on the newscast. I mean,
think so,
we
too.
do have fun on the newscast, but this is fun.
But you know what you're going to get to do eventually? Halloween is a big time for us here on Indy Style. You get to dress up with us.
Oh, that's
Woohoo!
right. I forgot. This may be scary. My career may end real soon after that one there.
I know. We already have to start thinking about ideas. But hey, I want to move along because on Indy Style, when you made this announcement, we had a Facebook question that day about what people love the most about you, about Randy Ollis. No surprise to me, they said faith and love for your family. I want you to talk about why that's such a part of your life that you enjoy sharing, not only with people you work with, because you and I have had a few sit-down conversations, but also viewers as well, to share that part of your life.
Yeah, I'm not going to preach. I mean, I could preach for an hour or two, and then we'll pass the offering plate too. But it's really important. I'm a family guy, and what you see from me is how I am. I look at myself as goober. I always say that this is what I felt like God has called me to do, to be a weatherman all these years. And I remember years ago, I went through a lot of struggles. I really did, and just doing the weather. And I remember just kind of crying out to the Lord and saying, I can't even do what you called me to do. And I just felt like he said in my spirit, that's why I've called you to do it. And I thought, So I've learned over the years that a lot of times as, a Christian, I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. I invited him into my life at the age of 6 years old. I guess I can say that on the podcast, can I?
Absolutely.
At any rate, if we're going to reach our potential, we need to be broken. We need to be saddle busted so that we have to trust God every single day. And so I look back, there were times when I was late 40s, 50 years old, I thought, how am I going to make it till retirement? I'm exhausted. But here I am, 65 years old, moving on, still going here. So faith has been a huge part of my life and our family's life as well. I am a family person. I'm an only child. So when my wife and I got married 40 years ago, we thought, we want to have kids.
Yeah.
So we had 4 children, 4 daughters. I was hoping to have a son to keep the name going on. But once the 4th one popped out, I thought, we're going to go broke with weddings here. So we're done. We both knew we were done after 4, but I would have it no other way. It's been, Tim, firefighter Tim has 5 daughters.
5 daughters.
I have 4. So,
and I'm one of 4 girls.
Oh,
I have 3 sisters.
So then, absolutely.
I do. Yeah. I know that all too well, but I think part of what you do too, yes, whether geek or goober as you call it, but also having a purpose. And I think that's why people relate to you so much, because so many of us, Randy, especially at this time, we're all going through a lot. And I think we just need to keep it real. But that you give people that inspiration as well. And the thing I love about you the most is how honest you are, that life is not perfect.
It's not perfect. And, the job that I've done on Daybreak, I look at my coworkers there, Scott and Drew and Kylie and all, and there's many times I thought, God, what am I doing here? Because they're professional. I mean, they're broadcasters. I'm a scientist, but I do have a personality. And it took me a while to figure out who I am. And I think David Barris really helped that out. We were 2 goobers together. And when the station let us be who we are, that's when the corner really changed for Dave and for my life here too. So I'm very blessed. It hasn't been easy. I could get into a lot of trials and stuff the family's gone through, but we all go through that stuff. We all go through it.
We do, but I think at the end of the day, that important message is to know that we are not alone.
Absolutely.
And the fact that we can talk about this stuff and be there for one another.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it goes back to my faith here. You look at the pandemic and other things going on. I have to believe that there is a God who is in control, or I would go absolutely nuts here.
Right.
I mean, no one knows why he's allowed this pandemic. Nobody, but I do know the scriptures that says he causes all things to work together for good to those who love him. So I have that assurance, I have that faith that God is in control. I can sleep at night. I still have joy in spite of the circumstances here. So it's my faith that has brought me through this far, and I know it has a lot of other people too.
This far, and of course, a lot of people remember what you went through a little while ago with a health scare.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, boom, that's the biggest thing.
Absolutely.
Of when you need to rely on a higher power, knowing he will get me through this.
It was 4 years ago. I was diagnosed with cancer, and we caught it early, and I asked the doctor what would happen if I did nothing, and he said, you'll be gone in a year. That's a fast-spreading cancer. So I thought, well, I think maybe we should do something, even though I know where I'm going, when that time comes. But at any rate, we caught it early. And I have always been public, about all the trials and things that I've gone through. I'm transparent. And I want people to see that, when we're on TV, we smile and everybody thinks, oh, you're perfect. No, we're not. I could go through everyone that I work with, and they've got things going on that I will not mention ever on the air without their permission. But we all go through those things. And, it's the faith, knowing that God is in control. He didn't have to heal me, but he did through doctors and medicine. So I just, offer that as an inspiration to others who go through trials. My cancer was a cakewalk compared to other people going through cancer. I only had 3 chemos, 3 weeks of radiation. I was blessed. I had cancer that I knew of for maybe 96 days, and that was it. No, it was gone. And that's been 4 years, cancer-free for 4 years now.
It's amazing, and we celebrate right along with you. And I would say, don't you think, too, in our profession, as much as you're able to give, I know, to viewers out there in the community, when you went through all of that, hearing their stories and what they were able to give back to you as well, I think that's a healing part of being able to share it with people.
Absolutely. It really, really is. And let me just say this, too. I'm going to diverge a little bit here, if that's okay with you guys, just real quick. I'm entering a new phase of life, cutting back my workload here at Channel 8. Al, the boss, he has been great, and our owner, too, Circle City Broadcasting. They've given me permission to kind of broaden out and check out other avenues as I get to full retirement in a couple of years or so. I signed a 2.5-year deal. But my wife and I, we've been married for 40 years plus now. We have had tremendous struggles, tremendous trials. We've been in and out of counseling for 38 years, the two of us. But when we said we do, we did. And we made a commitment to God and everybody who's at our wedding that day. And so my wife and I, how do I say this? She'll probably shoot me for this. But anyway, we had a breakthrough in our marriage after 38 years. And so we have done a marriage testimony that we recorded, the audio and the video at our church. And it's going to be put online sometime here. I think Moody Radio is going to put that online one of these days. And so it's our hope, if God wants us to, we would love to do like a speaking ministry together to encourage other couples that have, every couple has struggles. We all do. We're all human here. But anyway, that's our passion deep inside. So we'll see if it pans out or not. It may not, but if we can help other couples who are struggling based on what we've been through, then it would be cool.
The fact that you're so open about that is refreshing, my friend, because I don't care if you've been married 2 years or if you've been married, 52 years. We all go through things at every season of life.
Well, I talk about being transparent. You'll chuckle here, but our daughter at our church, she's the one who interviews people for the stories that come out. But she did not want to do mom and dad because we got that transparent. I mean, it was like, woo. So we had the pastor interview us here. Yeah. And we had a lot of great response from that.
Yeah. You go through things as a married couple, but you go through things as a father.
Yeah.
I would imagine as well. There's pressures not just on mothers, on fathers too, to be as good of a father as you can, but also, Randy, balance that with work.
Yeah,
absolutely. You know that over the years, especially when the kids are little.
Yeah, and I was blessed because, earlier I had the opportunity of going to the evenings when Stan Wood retired. People saying, who's that? But Stan was our weatherman for many years here. But I changed my mind because I wanted to stay on daybreak because I had my evenings free.
Yeah.
And that way I was able to attend, the kids' functions, and I may have fallen asleep at it, but I was there.
You were there.
So I'm glad I made that decision just to stay on early mornings.
You were present for sure. I know
was
that's
there, yes.
what matters when those kids are little the most. I don't want to wrap this up quite yet, just a few more questions, but when it comes to viewers listening right now and you being as transparent as you are, everybody is going through a struggle with the pandemic. What advice, Randy Ollis wisdom, would you give them perhaps in order to make their days just a little bit better?
Well, I can be spiritual here. I just talk about my faith, and that's where it always goes back to. I know not everybody believes the way I do, and everybody's different. I understand that, I really do, but you got to have a positive attitude in life, even when you're going through rough times. I've always seen the glass as half empty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you hear our testimony, our marriage testimony, I had to deal with anger. I had a critical spirit.
Really?
My wife was, dare I say, is probably afraid of me at times here around the kids because I was raised in a family where we would duke it out. And I thought every family would do that. I had a dad who had a critical spirit, so I had a critical spirit. And I carried that into our marriage, not even knowing that. My wife came from a marriage where they had no conflict at all. So we were totally opposites right there. So, and what was your question? I've gotten off track.
Is this how Indy Style is going to be? Is
I
this
know.
like a vision?
We're going to have to increase the show another hour if this is the way it's going to be here.
Final words, Randy Ollis, for viewers out there, a message that you would like to send to them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just,
and I said viewers. This is my first podcast. These are listeners, Randy.
Listeners, too.
These are not viewers anymore on the podcast today.
But, hopefully if they're not viewers, they will be viewers here. They really will.
Go.
My advice is, for me, it's a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And, it's not just, I know Christ, but it's having that intimate relationship with Him. He's the one that gives me the peace, the hope, the joy, the perseverance to keep on going.
Yeah.
I know He's real. He lives in my heart. And so that would be my advice to the listeners out there. If you've never done it, surrender your life to Him. Doesn't mean you're going to have a perfect life. Nobody does. But it's a big difference. Who's in control.
Yeah.
And He's in charge of everything that comes into Amber's life, into my life as well, and into everybody's life. I believe it's tailor-made for each person out there, and the timing is perfect, too. We don't understand, but we know He's in control.
See, now you're going to make me tear up, because you and I have had moments to where, I, of course, am a believer, but you have allowed me to dig even deeper into that. And that's not always an easy thing to do. But the fact that you took the time to do that for me when you didn't have to is so appreciative.
Well, God brings everybody into our lives for a purpose.
Yeah.
It's not that, but it's to let the light shine. And you shine. I can see it in your face right now, just sitting here across from you.
He's so sweet.
But that's the purpose is to be. It's not how much you get out of life, but it's how much you give in life.
How much you give.
It's not. They always say.
Amen to that.
They always say, "He who dies with the most toys wins." It's just the opposite, I think, for a Christian. It's not the most toys, but he who wins is who gives his life away the most.
Absolutely.
Whether it's time or material things or what. I'm preaching now.
He's preaching. I tell you what we'll do, friends. We're going to end our very first Indy Style podcast with a Randy Ollis dad joke. I know you have plenty or weather joke.
Oh, boy.
Put them together, Randy.
Well, I have
I should know because I've heard enough over the years.
I know you have. You haven't heard them all. Well, you heard about the new restaurant up on the moon, haven't you?
No.
Yeah, great food, but no atmosphere. Amber, did you know that when I was in college in Northern Illinois, I almost became an astronaut?
I did not know that.
Back in college, I took up space. A lot of it back then.
Should I cut them off, friends?
So there's more where that comes from.
Here's a preview of what to expect on Indy Style, right? March 3rd, March 4th, right around then, Randy Ollis?
March 4th is my new schedule. It's on a Thursday, I believe it is. You say, well, middle of the week. That's when my contract runs out. So we go by contract in TV. So March 3rd. I'm done on daybreak, and I'm done. People say, well, he'll be appearing. I'm done.
Yeah.
And I won't get into it unless there's an emergency or there's wild weather, then I'll maybe make an appearance. But you won't see me in the mornings anymore.
No, I think this is a good thing. Take care of you and follow that path where God has meant you to be. Randy, I can't tell you how much of a pleasure this has been. I cannot wait to work with you even more on Indy Style. But until then, we're going to let you get out of here. Go grab a donut. Go grab you some breakfast.
Hey, can we eat donuts on Indy Style? Are we allowed to do that? Oh, we better. That was part of the deal we negotiated here. We got donuts coming.
Donuts every morning for Randy Ollis. I'll tell the boss about that.
Okay, let me know how that goes, okay?
All right, Randy. Thank you so much. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
From Wish TV's Indy Style, I'm Amber Hankins. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Indy Style podcast right now on the All Indiana Podcast Network.
Watch Indy Style weekday mornings at 10 a.m. on Wish TV. Follow Indy Style on Facebook and connect for even more at wishtv.com.
This concludes our broadcast day.
For even more great podcasts, go to allindianapodcastnetwork.com.